Hey there! It's time to rise and receive. Thank you to those of you who've been patient. I had to restart my Facebook Live like 3 times, so I'm not sure what's up today. Uh, Maybe it's Mercury retrograde shadow phase if you're into that kind of stuff. So welcome. This is Rise and Receive, which is your 10-minute morning send off designed to support you in receiving what you most want by unlearning struggle. And today we are going to talk about how to invite good fortune when you don't know what to do. So if you are here early and settling in, I have an invitation, something to consider, just kind of a personal check-in with yourself. I'd like you to think about, on a scale of 0 to 10, how powerful do you feel? 0 means not powerful, 10 means very powerful. How powerful do you feel when you feel like you know what to do, or you feel like you have a focus about, this is what I'm going to do, this is my plan? So see how powerful you feel on a scale of 0 to 10 for that. And take a moment now to see how powerful do you feel when you don't know what to do. And just make a mental note about that. Okay? Because that's going to illuminate a really great opportunity that we have today to talk about how to invite good fortune when you don't know what to do. So if you don't know me, my name is Sonia Miller. I'm a speaker, coach, and best-selling author, and I am passionate about teaching people how to receive, because receiving is its own very specific, very tangible skill set. And what most of us know how to do is we know how to work hard. We know how to do things. We know how to, or at least we think we know what needs to happen in order to achieve our goals, dreams, wishes, wants, and aspirations. And so what a lot of people don't understand is that hard work actually fuels a struggle, because we've bought into this hard work ethic. We really believe that in order to achieve my goals, I need to do something. But there's this whole other realm of wisdom that is rooted in being. And being is where we tap into receiving. Okay, so I'm excited to illuminate how to invite good fortune when you don't know what to do. And so what I do each morning is I pull one card from my brand new Receive card deck, and I let that inspire the principle that you have an opportunity to explore and connect with, so that you can receive with much greater ease and much greater fulfillment. All right, so with that, I'm actually going to give you something to sort of kind of just sit with, sort of just receive, okay? And then I'm going to move into the card. So the first thing I want to illuminate is the 4 words that fuel struggle. The 4 words that fuel struggle. And these are the 4 words. What do I do? And allow yourself to connect with how often you think that, how often those are the words that come out of your mouth when you're encountered with a challenge or a problem or a goal or an intention, and you want to make something happen. Those 4 words, what do I do, fuels struggle. Conversely, the 4 words that reveal fulfillment is, how do I receive? How do I receive? And I invite you to just think about, how often do you ask those 4 questions? All right? How do I receive? So here's something to know on a very physical world level about our brain and our physiology and our biology. There's an aspect of the brain called a reticular activating system. And without getting into all of the science, that part is responsible for and supportive of letting you see what you're looking for. Okay? So if you are, for example, decide that you want to buy a red car, all of a sudden, because you've put your attention on it, you're going to see red cars all the way, everywhere, I should say, all the time. One of the things I you hear about all the time is, let's say you want to meet Mr. or Miss Right, okay? And you think that Mr. or Miss Right is supposed to appear to you in a certain shape or form or certain characteristics. And because you're looking for that, that's what you're focused on, then you become unable to maybe see that the love of your life is already in your world because you thought it was supposed to look a certain way, okay? That's what happens depending on what question we ask. If you ask, what do I do? Your brain, your whole being, and everything that you can experience in your life is a whole lot of doing. So when you ask, what do I do? Thinking that that's going to lead you to your good fortune, all that can really do is cause a lot of doing, because you're focused on what do I do? So what's the next thing to do and the next thing to do and the next thing to do? And that's fine when it's actually imbalanced with your capacity to receive. But if you don't know how to receive, when you are frustrated, when you're still working hard, when you're searching, you're not going to be able to receive what is here to receive. Because the balancing energy of doing is being, and being is receiving. Being is receiving. But here's the thing, this is what causes so much struggle. There's two challenges around being. A, most people don't know how to simply be. Even if they are quiet and not in action, they are distracted. Okay, so we can be being, but our attention is focused on the media or the news or the kids or our thoughts or the next thing that we should be doing or the thing that we're not doing that we should be doing. That's not being, okay? That's thinking, which goes hand in hand with doing. It's all part of the hunter model or the doing model of manifestation. So as long as you are doing, and you don't know how to be, you're going to be struggling with receiving, okay? The second thing that people struggle with around being is that most people have no idea what power there is in being. So for those of you who came early, I asked you to consider on a scale of 0 to 10, when you are feeling like you know what to do or you have a plan about what you're going to do, how powerful do you feel? And most people will be closer to the 10. But if I said on a scale of 0 to 10, how powerful do you feel when you don't know what to do or when you think you need to come up with a plan? In other words, how powerful do you feel when you are simply being? Simply being. Most people that I talk to, that I work with, and even myself for most of my life, have had no idea how being could ever be powerful. Most of us can only look at being through the lens of doing. We have been so trained and indoctrinated and conditioned that doing and thinking and working hard is the way to make things happen, is the way to receive our goals, that when we think about not doing, in other words, stopping, and we look at whatever else is left, we look at it through the lens of, well, if doing is powerful, then being must not be. So all of a sudden we add these judgments: passive, lazy, unmotivated, lost. We have no idea what the power of being is, okay? So back to the reticular activating system, okay? Here's a clue about the power of being. When you finally stop doing, and this is now going to lead into today's card, and you start to shift into being, what that allows you to do, what the power is, it allows you to now see everything that is here, that has always been here to receive. Just like that love of your life that was always in your world, but you couldn't receive the love of your life because you were focused thinking that that person should look different, appear different, behave different. It couldn't be my best friend. It couldn't be this person that I've known for 10 years that knows me inside of. No, the love of my life has to be out there because you're focused on finding the love of your life? What do I do to attract the love of my life? Rather than receiving because you were busy hunting. Okay? So that's what happens when you can stop doing and explore how to be. So here's the part of the card that I want to read to you today. So when I pulled out my deck of cards and I closed my eyes and I said, okay, how do I invite good fortune when I don't know what to do? And this just came to me today, like we need to do pull a card read on this. Here's the card. I'm not going to read the whole thing because I already did a video on this, but this is going to highlight everything I talked about today. So here's the top portion of the card. The card is, let it be here. Let it be here. So here we go. Let this wash over you. There are those who teach us of the power of letting go, and those who enlighten us in the wisdom of surrender. These practices have one thing in common. They are meant to relieve the suffering and sabotage that occurs when you want something and become attached to it. But your mind will resist this guidance, because when it hears the words let go and surrender, it will perceive these instructions as a threat. The mind seeks control. It will anticipate a loss or feel unsafe. And because your attachment will persist, you will struggle to receive what you want. This is because your consciousness creates your reality. And when you want, you manifest more wanting. However, when instead of attempting to let go, you let it all be here, then you become able to access the wisdom of these teachings. So the card goes on to give you some more examples and some tips. And this is what I want to offer you when you want to invite good fortune and you don't know what to do. Okay? Instead of asking, what do I do? Which will just give you more doing. You'll be attached to doing, just like the card talks about. You'll be attached to wanting and attached to doing, and that will be all you can see. So instead, let it all be here. Let it all be here. Practice that. Let everything be as it is. Here's the mantra you can take into your day when you're practicing letting go of needing to know what to do. I am willing to let it all be here with kind permission. I am willing to let it all be here with kind permission. If you keep practicing this mantra instead of, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Your mind will slowly start to relax. The reticular activating system of your brain will loosen its grip from what do I do, that train, what do I do, what do I do, that locomotion. And it will open up your perception. I am willing to let it all be here with kind permission. And then just start looking around. What is here in your life? What is already here? You'll start to be able to notice what's here. And insights and next steps and possibilities and inspiration and solutions can absolutely just show up. Just show up. So that's my offer for you today. I so passionately and strongly encourage you to simply be in the question of like, wow, if I feel powerful when I'm focused on doing, and I feel not powerful when I don't know what to do, at very least be curious about, well, why? That's only one tiny part of life. It's what I do. So what is the power of being? Ask a different question. How do I receive? How do I receive? Because there's only two ways of being. You can either be doing or you can be being. There's some really well-trained awarenesses out there that can practice mindfulness in their doing. But for the most part, most of us are either in doing mode or being mode. And it takes some intentionality to unwind. It's what happens when you go on vacation. It takes you 2 days to finally arrive and be there. That's how intense this this focus as it builds this energy, this momentum, and yet it will block you from receiving your fulfillment. That's why we unlearn the struggle. The struggle is learned, it is unnecessary. There's so much ease and so much simplicity in being and receiving. So I hope that that inspires you to experiment a little bit and start tapping into the power of being, because being is receiving. And if you are interested in exploring this in a really fun way, my vision workshop begins tomorrow. There is room for 11 more people. And in it, you are going to have an opportunity to create a vision for an aspect of life or your whole life for the next 6 to 12 months, maybe even a big picture vision. And in it, you receive clarity, you receive your power and your path forward, because what we tap into is not the goals of what you want in your physical life, but who do I need to be to invite my greatest aspiration for this particular area of life. When you are in touch with your beingness, you become this powerful magnet, this powerful invitation for everything that matches it in your world. So I hope you'll join me. If you are curious about this, go to receiveclarity.com. It's going to be awesome. I've got 14 people already ready to go, and I'm so excited to teach this once again. It just is an amazing experience and produces amazing results. Receiveclarity.com. Thank you for being here. If you have any questions, comments, if you like this, share, subscribe. I'm here to serve. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow at the next Rise and Receive. Bye, everybody.